driftwood into the sand.
This took a lot more hammering than expected, but these sticks were totally secure and not coming out of the ground anytime soon.
And now we can lash the bed onto the stilts, raised up a foot or two.
I was putting even more trust into the vines here.
And there we go. That's a solid cot frame. Supports my weight easy. I could even do some dips out here, get in a little workout. Oh, wait, that's like the last thing I should be doing on a desert island. Now I need a surface to actually sleep on, and I'll just keep on wrapping those vines down the entire length of the bed, and I'll create kind of a hammock that I can sleep on. All right, moment of truth. Does it support big old Dave's big old booty? Oh my gosh. You know what? This is actually kind of nice. Like, yeah, it's not as comfortable as an actual hammock or a mattress or something like that, but for what it is, this is pretty dang comfy. And the good news is my superpower is I can sleep basically in any position in any place. Look at this picture my friend Derek got of me sleeping once. I'm telling you. I do have an idea for how to make the bed comfier, but we'll have to do that tomorrow because we're kind of out of light for the evening. All right, I changed into my pants and long sleeve shirt for the night so the bugs don't get me quite as bad. Oh. So I got dropped off this morning. I haven't even been here 24 hours yet, and I can already tell you this is gonna be one of the roughest weeks of my life. Also, I know I'm totally exposed to the elements out here. Tomorrow's goal is to finish the shelter, but if it rains tonight, whatever. It's so hot out here, a shower sounds kinda nice. Night night, sleep tight, don't let the spiders bite. I guess there's a rooster on this island. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I don't know how I managed to get so lucky, but it barely rained last night. It started sprinkling for 15 minutes, and I took off my long clothes to prepare for downpour, and then it stopped and I went back to bed. Crazy. I highly doubt we'll get that lucky a second night in a row, so we better get the shelter up today. But first, breakfast. Oh gosh, that thing just squirted me in the face. I'm gonna be so sick of coconuts by the end of this week. Okay, so we're getting an early start today, and before I do anything else, I really want to make some progress on the shelter. We finished the hammock yesterday, and as much as I loved it at first, I have to say it is much less comfortable after a night of sleep on it. Again, it's not the worst thing I've ever slept on, but it's in the bottom 25% of places I've slept. But I know exactly how to fix that. To prep for this adventure, I've been watching tons of videos of Southeast Asian grandmas weaving palm leaves together. And I think if I could weave a couple palm leaves together, that would make for such a perfect sleeping surface.
I found a plant that would be perfect for this and chopped down the biggest leaf I could with our machete. Then I split it in half right down the middle. Then it was time to channel my inner Southeast Asian grandma and do the weave I've been watching videos about. And since I practiced this multiple times before coming out to the island, things went beautifully.
Woo, that's how you do it. Not bad for a Wyoming boy who's never even touched a palm leaf before. Now I can put these over the bed, and that is such a nicer surface to sleep on. Nice little palm leaf mattress. I mean, that actually feels like it could be a bed. That is crazy comfy.
But now our bed needs an actual shelter built over it.
So going into this video, I wanted to build some kind of epic, creative, never before seen shelter. But now that I'm actually here doing the thing, I think an A-frame is the way to go. It's simple, it's effective, it looks cool. I can be creative when I haven't been running on nothing but coconuts for 24 hours. First, we need to build the frame. And there's so much driftwood out here on the beach that I could probably find all the pieces I need just from that. Look at this, that's perfect.
And after a good while spent wandering the beach in search of framing material, I also found something useful I wasn't looking for.
So while walking up and down the beach looking for driftwood, I think I also stumbled upon a new fresh water source. All over the place on this beach, there's different plastics that have washed up. It's really unfortunate. But what is at least somewhat fortunate is that a good amount of the plastics washing up are water bottles, and a good amount of those water bottles still have some water in them. What I'll do is cut it off partway with the machete, and then I'll just go at it with a life straw. Tastes a little funky, but it's clearly fresh water. Good to have another water source. All right, I managed to find a good number of sticks. Let's assemble our A-frame.
I started by stabbing 4 sticks into the ground and then tied them at the top with vines to make 2 triangles. I added another stick all the way across the top and then 2 more on each side that we'll be securing leaves to.
All right, that's an A-frame if I've ever seen one. But now comes the tricky part, because I need to figure out what to use for siding material. Palm leaves are what most people on this island have used, and they can work for sure, but I just don't like how spread apart the leaves are. That seems like a recipe for a leaky roof. Everywhere on the island, I've been seeing these leaves. I don't really know what they are, but they have a ton of surface area. I think they'd be a great option. Let's use them. And I came up with a system that I think might work for putting them on. First, I'm taking a knife and slicing a tiny little hole in the base of each stem. Then you can see I tied this vine along the support. I'm taking the vine, threading it through that hole in the leaf, and now I can just pull that all the way through, and then the bottom of these leaves can go under the vine on the bottom support. And in theory,